Hello and welcome to the world of programming. In this video, we are going to take a look after how we can make a tic-tac-toe game in HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So as you can see, I'm in a VS Code and I am having an index.html file, style.css and JavaScript file with my icon here. So how we can make that? So for that, first we need a boilerplate here. And in the boilerplate, we can give it a title of tic-tac-toe. Okay. After that, let's say link fav icon and icon.ico. After that, in the body, let's take we are going to make three columns step by step. So first of all, let's say container. So let's say container. Inside the container, we are having three rows. We are going to have a row 1, row 2 and row 3, or let's have row only one row. Let's say row, but we are going to multiply it by 3 to get three such containers. Now in this, let's say in the first row we are going to give like options. Okay, so we are having three options in each row, so we are going to multiply it by 3, and after that is done, let's just copy this thing here and let's go ahead and paste it. After that is done, let's go ahead and say link css, and now let's save this. Now let's go back here and say body padding 0, margin 0, margin 0. After that is done, let's say dot container. We are going to have our container with the display of flex. We are going to say flex direction of the container to be column, and after that we are going to say something like this. We are going to say flex direction column, and yeah, after that let's say dot row. So in the row we are going to give something like width of, okay, so let's give it like 48 rem, and let's give the height of 12 rem. After that is done, let's say dot option. So the options width, how much the options width is going to be, width is going to be 16 because we are going to divide each into three parts. So let's say width 16 rem, and we are going to say height of 12 rem. After that, in this we are going to say border 1 pixel solid black. Save this. Now right click here and click on open with live server. Okay, so we are not getting that option here. Let's click on go live only. Okay, so you can see here it is. So we are having how much? 1 2 3 5 we are getting. Why is that so? Let's go here in the index.html. We are having options, one more options, one more options. So what we are saying column. So we are having like this. So we are having a row inside one container. Let's inspect it and see what's happening. So let us say row. This is the first row, second row, third row, and this is the options. Second option, third option. And what about this options? Here's the first, second, third, first, second, third, first, second, third. So it's coming something like this. So we are going to, so we are supposed to get something like width of 16 rem, 12 rem. Okay, so let's say we are having a display flex, and we are going to give like flex direction, and we are going to say row. After that, let's save this, and you can see that we are getting three okay, so you can see one column and one row is there. So yeah, that's okay. So now what we need to say, okay, let's make them squares here because we are the squares maybe are pretty much good. So let's give 16 rem height as well. So let's say 16 rem height. Let's save this. Now you can see we are having 16 rem, but it's not, it's overflowing. That's why Okay, so let's give it something like 36 width of 36, and give 12 rem, and we are going to give 12 rem and height 12 rem. So that's it. Let's go back. You can see here it is. So now what we are going to give, we are going to say we are going to say like cursor pointer. After that is done, let's go back and see what's happening. So you can see here's the cursor pointer coming. So you can see cursor pointer is there. Now the next thing we are going to do is we are going to say in the script.js. Now the main thing comes. So we are going to say at this place, after this we are going to say dot turn, means whose turn is this, x or 0. So let's say x turn in default, x turn. So let's do this, and you can see x turn is there right now. So what we are going to do is we are going to say in the script.js. Okay, let's start making the app. So first what we need at this place is we need all the buttons at this means of the container. We need all the buttons here. So here let's say let options is equal to document dot query selector dot options. Okay, let's say dot options here, and let's say console dot log options. After that, let's go back here, reload it, and go to inspect. Now if I go to console here, I'm not getting anything because the file is not connected here. Let's say script src. Okay, so let's say script src script.js. That's it. Let's save this and let's see, are we getting anything? Yeah, we're getting options, right? But we do not want only one, we want everything here. So what we are going to say, query selector all. That's it. Let's save this and go back here. You can see here's a node list which is containing all these options. Now what we need to have an event listener on it. Okay, so let's say in the options. Okay, let's go here and let's say, suppose if I say x on the first one, and if I go here cross on the first one, so you can see here's a cross. So how we are going to do that? Means we need to just style up the text as well. So for that we need to say like text align center, and after that let me just save this thing and see is it happening. Yeah, and let's say display flex and justify content center. Let's save this. Sorry, this should be align item center. As you can see here's the across. Let's say font size. So okay, let's give it 12 rem. Let's try this out. Let's okay, so we are getting x at this place, so we need a good font as well. So let's say fonts.google.com, and now you can see here a lot of fonts. So let's select any of these. Okay, let's select open sans here, and let's say okay, so we are going to say add the rate import because we are using css here. So let's copy this here and let's go back. Now at this place let's paste it. After that, how to import it? For that we can use open sans. Okay, copy this font family we are getting. So you can see how's the font coming, right? So that's awesome. Now the next thing we are going to do, here's the font. So let's say let's remove the font right now. Now let's save this. So here let's say options dot for each, we are going to run a callback here, and let's give the parameter e at this place, and let's say like e. Okay, let's say console.log e. Let's say wait and let's see what we are getting. Yeah, we are getting something like this, right? Now let us say something like e dot add event listener click. Suppose someone clicks on this, we are going to say okay, let's say the turn. So we need the turn as well, so whose turn it is. So let's say the default is going to be x. So if the turn is x, we are going to say if, okay, let's remove this, if turn equal to x, we are going to do is e dot inner text is equal to x. Okay, that's it. Or we can even say like turn. Okay, let's do this. And suppose if not, we are going to say else e dot inner text, because there are only two conditions that can happen. Either it can be cross or it can be a zero. So we can say turn. So if suppose if x, then we are going to say it to be x. Suppose and then we are going to change it to o, means o's turn. And then we are going to say e dot inner text is equal to turn, means when there is o turn. Okay, let's save here as if, let's say turn equal to o, e dot inner text equal to turn, and let's say turn equal to x. That's it. Let's save this and let's go back here and see is it working or not. Let's click here, here. Yeah, it's working fine. Now if I click on any other again and again, it can change as well. So we are going to say like, suppose if x turn, we are going to say if e dot inner text. If suppose if it does not exist, then we are going to give that. Otherwise we are not going to give anything. Okay, the same thing we are going to give at this place. Let's copy this and let's paste it. So let's remove this thing here and let's say it to be x. That's it. Let's save this and reload it. Now x0 x0 x0. Now I can't change these things here, right? So yeah, that's okay. So now what's the next thing we want to see? We want to see is it anybody winning or not. So let's say let win is equal to false, and we are going to say if turn equal to this. Okay. So whenever someone clicks, we want to check that. So let's say, let's give a set of instruction at this point. Okay, let's make a function, and that's going to be an update function. Okay, and there's going to be an update function which is going to run again and again. Okay, so we are going to say if let's say if e or okay, so let's say options if options the zeroth position, means what I can say here, 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So let's give them at this place. Let's say 0 1 2 3 4 5. Let's say this is 6 7 8. That's it. Let's save this and let's go back. Now what I want, if 0 1 and 2 are equal, we are going to say x wins. Okay, so let's go here and say if x0 is equal to options, and is equal to options, the 1 is equal to options 2, and is equal to x, we are going to say, alert x win, and we are going to say request animation frame here. So let's say request animation frame update, and we are going to call the update now. Now let's save this and that's it. Now let's go back here and click on this. Wait a while, some error is coming. No. Okay, let's remove this thing here. So now let's go back here and let's check. Okay, so nothing going to happen because x0 is a loop working or not. So let's check this thing here. Update. Checking that, but it's not working. The 0th position, first position, second position. Okay, so at this place, let's console it out first, means comment it out, and after that, let's say console.log options, and let's go back here and reload it. Now you can see node list. So let's see the first one, second. Okay, so these are the positions. Okay, so here what was the problem is, the problem was option one dot inner text. Okay, we need to do like that, dot inner text. That's it. Now let's go back. Now let's reload it. X, oops, x0 x0 x. Now also it's not working. We are running the frame here. Options, the zeroth position, options, first position, second position in text are all equal to be equal to x. We are going to say alert x wins. But and we are seeing a request animation frame, update we are calling. So why is it not working here? Options for each. This thing we are doing here. Now let's console.log 2. Let's save this. The only one time it's working, not because it should work a lot of times. In the update, it used to work a lot of times, but in the request animation frame, it's not working. So why is that so? Okay, now is it working? It's working. So let's remove this thing here. Save this. Let's go back. Reload it. X0 X0 X. Maximum call stack size exceeded. Okay, not like this. We can't do like this. Date, we are calling the update function here. If this thing happens, we are going to request animation frame update. Okay, so let's try this thing here. Let's say without, instead of calling this function, let's say update request animation frame update this. Okay, let's see, is it working or not. So let's go back here, reload it. Now is it giving any error? No. X0 X0 X. No, no errors, nothing is coming. So let's say console.log 2, is it giving any kind of thing? Okay, let's save this. No, now also we are not getting anything. So console, okay, request animation frame. So here the only problem was that it was not working, that we need to use this AND operator at this place for these things. So we are going to say like if this and this and this is equal to x, then we are going to just alert. So now and after that we are going to make the inner text to be equal to null. Okay, so we are going to do this thing here, or let's copy this thing here and let's paste. Let's do it for all the containers. So there are a total of 8 containers. So let's see, 1 2 3. After that let's say 4 5 6 7. And at last let's say after that is done. Now if I go back here and reload it, x0 x0 x x win. Okay, everything is clear now. Now what the next thing we are going to do, we are going to just copy this thing here. Okay, let's copy this thing here and let's say else. And now we are going to say like if x. Now the next possibility is that this x 0th, third and third, fourth, fifth, sixth position, 0 3 and 6 are equal. So let's say 0 3 6 are all equals. So let's save this thing and go back, reload it. So x0 x0 x wins. Okay, now let's say else. Let's paste it. Now the next is 0 1 2 3 4 4 5 6 7 8 8 0 4 8, and that's the next one. So let's say 0, after that let's say 4, and after that let's say 8. Let's save this. Let's go back here. X 0 X 0 X wins. Okay. Now the next thing is this from at this point. Suppose if something like this from here to here this happens, or from here this diagonal and this diagonal. So and this one as well. Okay. So in a total, if we talk about the combinations like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 combinations are in total. Okay. So we have just created 3 of them. So 5 are now also left. So let's say else, and after that let's say we just completed for this one, this one, this one. Now let's take for this one. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8. Okay. Now let's say 3, 4, 5, and after that else if 6, 7, 8. So we have just like 6, 7, 8, right? 6, 7, 8, and this now only this thing here left, this thing left, and after that this. So 3 are left now. Now let's say else, let's paste it and say from the third, okay, let's say second, third, second, fourth one, and finally the sixth one, second, fourth, and sixth. So let's say second, fourth, and sixth. Let's save this and let's go back here. After that, as this is done, now this and this are left. So 1, 4, 1, 4, and 7. 147. 147 is there. 147. Let's say else 1, 4, 7. Save this. Go back and now if okay, so now at last let's complete this one as well. 2 and 2, 5, 8. Now let's say 2, 5, 8. That's it. Okay, so let's save this and let's go back here. Say x 0 x 0 x x wins, x 0 x x. Okay, so let's reload one more time. Um, okay, let's reload it. X 0 x 0 x x wins. So that's all done. Now let's copy the same thing and do this all for 0. So here let's say else, and after the else we are going to just copy up this whole condition. After that, instead of okay, so here's after the 258 we are having this from at this place. Okay, so let's say alt, okay, so at this place, okay, let's select this one. Okay, now let's change all of them to oh, okay, let's save this. Okay, let's say x 0 x 0 x wins. Okay, wait a while. X 0 x 0, okay, x 0 x wins. Why is that so? X one more time, x wins. x0, x0. Okay, so x0, 0, x0, x0. So now also expense at a path. So there is a one problem at this place, and that is if this inner text and this inner text and this inner text are all equal to 0 x, then only we want to see say that. So why is that happening like that? Okay, okay, let's from this position to the last, let's go here and comment it out. Okay, so here we are getting an error. Why is that so? After that, let's go back here and x0, x expense. Why is that so? Okay, so I think we need to do it separately, I think, right? Okay, so let's do it separately. So here's the problem resolved. The only thing that we need to do was to change it to dot inner text for each is to be equal to 0 and be equal to cross. Okay, so now let's change this alert x0 win. Okay, because you know what, this is 0 win. Okay, let's say let's copy this thing here, and instead of all these, let's say alt this one, this one, and instead of this all, let's paste this thing here, and now let's check it is there or not. So yeah, it is. Now click on format document. Okay, so it's all done. Now let's go back here and say x0, 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 x wins 0x0, x0, 0 win. So now let's change the 10 as well. Like suppose let's say we're having this turn, right? So let's go here and say let turn underscore container is equal to document dot query selector dot turn, and we are going to say in suppose if there is 0, its turn is going to be of 0, and underscore container dot inner text equal to o turn, and the same we are going to do at this place. I'm going to say x turn. In default it's going to be x turn. Okay, as you can see. Now let's save this. Now let's reload it and let's say x o turn 0, x turn 0. So we just win. So this is how you can create a tic-tac-toe game in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So that's all for this video. Meet in the next video with some new build and technology. Till then, see you.